Welcome back. This week, another attempt at combating conspiracy theories all ahead of the November elections here in Wisconsin. The group Keep Our Republic is hosting another seminar in West Bend Tuesday night, featuring Wisconsin's elections chief Megan Wolf alongside local election officials. The group has been hosting meetings across the state looking to educate voters on the voting process. And it's all being led by former Republican State Senator Kathy Bernier, Keep Our Republic State Director. Kathy joins us now from her home in Chippewa Falls. Kathy, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
You've been hosting a number of these meetings across the state. I'm curious, what are the predominant themes or questions that you're hearing from voters who are showing up?
Generally speaking, most people are very surprised about all of the processes, the checks and balances in place, the care that the election officials take in preparing for the election and after the election, and all of the audits and the canvasses that take place. They're very surprised.
This group was formed after the 2020 election. The most recent Marquette poll showed that 59% of Republicans, 22% of independents say they're still not too or not at all confident that votes in 2020 were accurately cast and counted here in Wisconsin. Are you hearing those concerns in real time?
Yes, we still hear those concerns and we still try to address those concerns. I think COVID exacerbated the problems, meaning the usual processes and procedures weren't followed, and that was cause of concern for many. However, election denialism isn't just a Republican thing. Democrats have done it over the years as well, and this can't hurt to train and educate people on the electoral process so they fully understand, and then they can parse out what's fact from fiction, what they should believe and not believe when they hear stories about the election in 2020 or the election now coming up in 2024.
Former President Donald Trump, who has talked about claims of fraud, of course, in 2020, now the presumptive Republican nominee. What does that do to the conversation and your efforts?
Nothing. Keep Our Republic. We don't have any skin in the game when it comes to who's on the ballot. We don't care who's on the ballot. We just want our voters to understand the electoral process, no matter who's on the ballot, and whether it's a Democrat that'll claim voter fraud. 2016 was rife with 4 years of trying to prove Russian collusion. We don't want to wade into all of that. We just want to teach the electoral process to anyone and everyone who wants to listen.
Kathy, you're a former Republican state senator. Are you going to support Trump in the upcoming election?
Well, that's an interesting question, and I'm in a bipartisan, nonpartisan interview, and I will reserve that to the privacy of the poll booth.
Have you had any security concerns in hosting events like this with so much attention on elections across the state and across the country?
We recognize it's something to be considered. Often we have a sheriff or a police chief there. We have not had any disruptions, and I expect there won't be. I always say that most of the people in Wisconsin are Wisconsin nice. So even though we might disagree on some political issues or how elections are administered or whether there was actually voter fraud or not, I think for the most part, people are quite respectful.
Beyond West Bend, on Tuesday, you're planning events in Milwaukee, northern Wisconsin as well before November. I'm curious, what is your end goal? What is the success of this group ahead of November?
The success of our group is to teach and educate as many people as possible on the electoral process so they can decipher what is fact from fiction. And if we have a successful election with no drama or accusations, that will be a success.
An incredibly important conversation. Kathy Bernier, the Wisconsin State Director of Keep Our Republic. Kathy, thank you so much for your time.
You are very welcome.
Up next, cashing in on Top Chef, the star-studded premiere in Milwaukee, the new Wisconsin season ahead, and now state tourism leaders with their plan. The state's tourism secretary next.